John Major is supposed to have adopted a new, gentler approach to Europe, which is a shame, as most Euro analysts now believe that as differences between partners become more and more intractable, the community will turn to a new criteria to sort out its arguments. Which of its leaders is the most hard? Our political correspondent.
Well, clearly, against a tall man like Helmut Kohl, John Major would have a number of options open to him. He could nut him. He could get in a quick burst of punches and hope he'd done enough. Or most impressively, he could call him a poof and then just stand there, beckoning him with his hands and saying, "Come on then, you fat old Nazi." And by the way, I could have Brian Walden. I could.
John Major has already led the way by introducing the hard EQ. Demonstrating that when it comes to intergovernmental currency negotiations, he doesn't run from no one. He was also demonstrating his hardness by not having any women in his first cabinet.
All right, gentlemen, this is the first all-male cabinet meeting for 11.5 years, but I don't want the absence of women to affect our procedure in any way. So now let's get on with the first item on the agenda. Who can piss the highest?
Are the other European leaders, however, as soft as they look? Our political pundits are working now to find out.
So, Jacques Delors, I put it to you that if John Major were to come up to you and say, "You specky French twat, I suppose you like Sacha Distel? For, did you just breed out or did we move into a garlic factory?" If John Major were to say these things to you, you may, and I'm not saying you would, cack Lay's pants. And by the way, I'd just like to say to John Cal, anytime.
Now, meanwhile, we think some of the bigger punch-ups could be avoided by a solution we've come up with to the central problem of European monetary union. There is a currency already in existence which covers every country in the community. The logical choice for the common European currency is surely the SO World Cup coin collection. Now, the system would be very simple, and it has the added advantage that if a country doesn't qualify for the World Cup, it's not allowed to have any money. So everything in Wales would be free.
However, there would be one drawback. Nobody would be allowed to use a normal wallet or purse anymore. Instead, all currency would have to be carried in a cardboard A4 presentation folder with special holes cut in it, which are slightly too small for the coins.
And we're missing a large cachea, if anyone's got one.
Tension between Britain and the rest of Europe is, of course, not helped by the way young British people behave abroad. I don't mean football supporters there, so much as kids who have been taught languages in language labs using Longman's audiovisual French.
Excusez-moi, monsieur. Où est la gare Saint-Lazare, s'il vous plaît?
Ah oui, mon petit, il faut traverser la roue là-bas.
Excusez-moi, monsieur. Où est la gare Saint-Lazare, s'il vous plaît?
Ah oui, comme j'ai dit, il faut traverser la roue là-bas et... Bing! Bing Crosby? No, English, drug addict.
One thing, though, that all the anti-Europeans in Parliament and the tabloids forget is that in comparison to the rest of Europe, Britain is crap. And you can tell that Britain is crap because of going for gold. We have to invent a daytime TV quiz to make ourselves look more intelligent than Europeans, right? Based on the wholly incorrect assumption that there's no unfair advantage in being able to speak the language that the questions are asked in. And one day, in the final round of Going for Gold, when Henry Kelly goes, "What am I?" one of the contestants is going to tell him, "A wanker."
It's 1 in the morning. I'm bevied up and I'm standing outside Brian Walden's house. Are you coming out, Muppet Mouth? Call yourself a political analyst. No one can understand a word you say. Can you hear the Walden sing? No.